The tailboard of the wagon has gone miss. It must have fallen off somewhere. I'll run back to find it.
Yes, do that.
I found it, miss. We can go on.
There was no need for her to look into the mirror. She did not adjust her head or comb her hair. She may be a fair girl, and she has her faults, but the greatest damn is vanity.
Oh my God. Oh God. Hello? Is anybody in?
What is the matter?
Nothing now, since you are not dead. It was a wonder you were not suffocated in this hut of yours. It was a silly thing to do, to leave the slide shut.
Yes, I suppose I shouldn't. I believe you saved my life, Miss. I don't know your name.
I'd rather not tell it.
Well, my name is Gabriel Oak.
And mine isn't. You seem fond of yours, since you speak it so decisively, Gabriel Oak.
You know, Miss, it is the only one that I shall ever have, and I must make most of it.
I always think mine sounds rather odd and disagreeable.
Well, I thank you. Come, give me a hand. How soft it is.
I believe you are thinking you would like to kiss it.
I wasn't thinking of any such a thing, but I will.
That you won't. Now find out my name.
And I will. Miss Aberdeen, do you spare a minute or two? There is something I would like to ask you. Will you marry me? Do Bathsheba, marry me. I love you far more than common.
But, Farmer Oak, I need some time to think.
I can make you happy. I have a nice little snug farm, and you shall have a piano in a year or two.
Yes, I should like that.
And you shall have flowers and birds, hens and chickens. I mean, because they're useful.
I should like it very much.
And a farm of cucumbers.
No, it's no use. I don't want to marry you.
But why?
I don't need a husband. And I don't love you.
But I love you. And that should be enough.
Oh no, don't say that. This all seems dreadfully wrong for me. But you see, Mr. Oak, I need somebody to tame me, for I am too independent, and you will never be able to, I know.
Very well. Then I'll ask you.
Well, I don't need a husband. I really don't. Bathsheba, it's your uncle's bill. I cannot believe it. I've inherited a farm in Weatherbury.
This is unusually bright sunset in Weatherbury. No! Something's on fire!
Oh, fire, fire!
We are now a good master and bad servant.
The straw stack is on fire!
fire!
Nah, a bad master, a good servant.
Get a big cloth, get the bucket, get the cloth back, and keep the cloth back. Get the ladder! Oh, how could this thing be fire? What happened? What have people done? Where are the people? There's fire and there's no help!
He's a shepherd, Mom, and a fine young shepherd too.
Whose shepherd is he?
Don't know, Mom. Quite a stranger, I dare say.
Do you think the barn is safe, Jan Cogan?
Safe now, at least I think so. That shepherd's done a great job. Very brave he was.
I wish he was a shepherd here. Liddy, go to him and say that the farmer wishes to thank him for a great service he has done.
Yes, Mom.
Do you happen to want a shepherd? Do you happen to want a shepherd, Mom?
Yes, I do want a shepherd.
He's the very man, Mom.
Aye, that is.
The man, truly.
Very well, that is settled then.
And now to Warren's Malthouse.
Are you coming, shepherd?
Yes, I am.
Oh, this is the new shepherd, I believe.
And you seem almost a farmer by your ways.
You are welcome here, although we don't know your name.
My name is Gabriel Oak.
This can't be. You're Gabriel's old grandson from Norcombe. I knew your father for years and years.
You did. You must be a really old man, Walter.
Well, I don't mind the year I was born in, but perhaps I can reckon the places where I have lived at. I lived at Longford until I was 11, and then 7 in Kingsbury where I took to malting. Then I malted in Durnover for 8 years, and I was 13 times 11 months at Malpan. Then I malted in Northcombe for 2 and 20 years. In 2 and 20 years I was turnip harvesting. And then I malted here for 2 and 30 years. How much is that? 118.
Well, then that's my age.
No, father. Your malting and turnip harvesting took place in the same year.
No, that's not right.
You must be a really
That's
old
not-
person.
Now, tell us your story, Gabriel.
Well, there isn't much to tell about it. But you should know, neighbors, that I have been in great trouble, and I was driven to it. I used to not to be so poor as I am now. I used to own a flock of 200 sheep, and they were all driven to precipice from a young, unexperienced dog.
Oh,
They all died.
such tragedy. Yes, your time will come.
Of course it will.
Let's go now.
Liddy, will you stay? I'm about to meet my tenants and I don't know them. Come, sit with me.
Can I really, Mom?
Of course. You're not only my servant, Liddy. You are my friend.
Thank you kindly, Mom.
Evening.
Now, before I begin, I have an important matter to speak of. Fanny Robin, my uncle's youngest servant, is nowhere to be found. Has anybody seen her?
I beg your pardon, Mom, but Fanny had a young man in Casterbridge.
I believe he's a soldier.
Well, we are not likely to know more tonight. We'll organize a search tomorrow. Well, now then, Joseph Ballgrass, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mom.
And what do you do, Joseph Ballgrass?
I do garden things all the year.
And you, Mrs. Ballgrass, what do you do?
I help with the washing machine, Mom.
Very well. Now, Billy Smallbury, are you willing to stay and work for me?
Of course he is.
And who are you?
I'm his lovely wedded wife, and I say whoosh to hands when they go up on your seats, Mom.
I am Billy Smallberry. I shoot the sparrows and I help with the pig killing, Mom.
Gabriel Oak, do you understand your duties as a shepherd?
Yes, I do. But if I don't, I'll ask.
The new shepherd will need some help.
Of course you will. Who can we have?
Cain Randall is a very good lad.
Cain?
I am Cain Randall, Mom.
Now tell me, how did you come by such an unfortunate name, Cain?
Oh, you see, Mom, my mother was reading the Bible and got it all wrong. She thought it was Abel who killed Cain. So she said Cain at my christening.
We soften it down as much as we can and call him Cainy.
Very well. Cainy Randall to be under shepherd. Now you have a mistress instead of a master. I don't yet know my powers or my talents in farming, but I shall do my best. I shall astonish you all. Now.
Excellent, well said.
Good night, neighbors.
Good night.
Down by the sandy gardens, my love and I did meet. She was the sandy gardens with little snow-white feet. She bid me take a visit as leaves grow on the tree. But I was young and foolish, with her did not agree.
Frank,
Yes, what girl are you?
oh, Frank, don't you know me? It's me, Fanny Robin.
Fanny, how did you come here from Waterbury?
I walked. Frank, can you come to me?
My dear Fanny, no. The barrack gates are closed. I didn't expect you tonight.
Yes, it was foolish of me to come, but you are glad to see me, Frank.
Yes, of course I am.
Frank, when will it be
What?
that you promised?
I don't quite remember.
Oh, you do. Don't speak like that. When shall we be married, Frank?
Oh, I see. Well, in a couple of days.
Frank, I'm afraid. It's just that you said lots of times that you would marry me, and I...
Don't cry now. It's foolish. If I said so, of course I will.
Oh, Frank,
Good night, my love. I'll see you tonight.
good night.
Did anybody ever want to marry you, miss? Lots of them, I dare say.
Well, a man wanted once.
And you wouldn't have him?
He wasn't quite good enough for me.
How sweet to be able to say, "No, sir, I'm your better. Kiss my foot." Did you love him?
Oh no, but I rather liked him.
Dear me, I've nearly forgotten. It's Valentine tomorrow. Who should you write a Valentine to? I think you should write one to Farmer Boldwood. He may be old, but think about his wealth. Did you see how he looked into your church on Sunday? Did you see? Oh, what fun it can be.
All right, what harm can it do to an old man?
Marry me. Marry me?
Good evening.
Oh, Oak. I wanted to ask you if you knew whose writing this is.
Bathsheba evidence.
So, Bathsheba Everdeen wants to marry me?
Oh, there's going to be a wedding. Oh, lovely. Who's the bride? This is strange. Where's the bride? This is strange. Poor man. Left at the altar. So humiliating. I'm almost there.
I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Thank God, I've made it. Now, I am to be married to Frank. But this is All Souls. This is the wrong church. Oh no. Frank, I made a mistake. I thought the church over there was All Saints, but it was All Souls. But I wasn't much frightened, for I thought the wedding could be tomorrow as well.
You fool for fooling me so! I won't go through that experience again, I warrant you.
But, dear Frank, when shall it be?
When? God knows.
Frank, no, I'm sorry.
Miss Everdeen,
Good morning, Mr. Boldwood.
I feel almost too much to think. My life has not been my own since I have seen you. Miss Everdeen, I come to make you an offer of marriage.
Mr. Boldwood, I'm afraid I can't marry you, much as I respect you.
But would you please listen to what I have to say? I would never have spoken to you had I not been led to home.
Valentine card. I should never have sent it. Please forgive me. It was a silly thing which no woman with any self-respect should have done.
But will you at least think about my offer?
Please, give me time.
I will wait.
Gabriel,
Yes.
I would like to ask you if anyone in the village has made any observation about Mr. Boldwood and me.
Yes, they believe that you're going to get married.
Well, I want you to say that I'm not going to marry him.
I can say that if you wish, but I have my own opinion on what you have done.
But I don't want your opinion.
Yes, I suppose you don't.
Well, what is your opinion?
Your behavior, darling, is not worthy of any good, thoughtful woman. Why did you send him that Valentine card?
I know why you're saying that. You're so angry because I didn't want to marry you.
I no longer think about that, miss.
I cannot allow any man to criticize my behavior, so will you please leave the farm by the end of the week?
I should prefer to go at once.
Go at once then, in heaven's name.
And I will.
Sheep have broken fence and got into a field of young clover. Clover. And they all died. They all cured.
Oh my God, why are you standing here? Go and help them.
Well, we can't.
Oh, I know. Farmer Boldwood can.
No, he can't, Mom. There is only one man who can cure the sheep.
Shepherd Oak.
Ah, Oak's the one. The only one.
How dare you name that man in my presence? Never will I send for him, never. Oh, my poor sheep. Pogras, go and find him and say that he must return instantly. That I say so.
Pardon me, Mom, but Oak says he will not come unless you ask him politely.
Oh, that's his answer. How dares he?
I wouldn't care about it, Miss. Why not ask him softly?
Then he will come, miss. He's a very kind man. I know him.
Please do not desert me, Gabriel. My poor sheep.
The sheep are safe now, miss.
Gabriel, will you stay?
Yes, I will.
And now, to Warren Small Towns.
Woo! Woo!
I was told by my aunt, I was told by my mother, that going to a wedding is the makings of another. Well, if this be so, and I'll go without a bidden, oh kind Providence, won't you send me to
have a lovely voice.
All right. Come on, you fair and tender girl, who flourish in your brow. Beware, beware, keep your garden fair. Let no man steal your time. Let no man steal your time. For when your time is past and gone, he'll care no more for you. And every place where your time was wasted, will all spread all way through. Will all spread all way through. The gardener's son was standing by. 3 flowers he gave to me, the pink, the blue, and the violet true, and the red, red rosy tree, and the red, red rosy tree. But I forsook the red rose bush and gained the willow tree, so all the world may plainly see how my love slighted me, how my love slighted me.
Come on, let's go now. Night.
Oh my God.
Fear not, I will not hurt you. Good evening.
Good evening.
I have seen many beautiful women in my life, but I've never seen a woman so beautiful as you. You may be offended or like it, I don't care.
Who are you?
I'm no stranger. Sergeant Troy is my name, and I'm staying in this place.
Well, good night, Sergeant Troy.
How do you do? Good night.
For a
He's an educated man and quite worthy of any woman.
You know, miss, that I love you, and I shall love you always. So I ask you, do not trust the soldier.
Don't.
Dear Bathsheba, I have been waiting for your answer silently and patiently.
Stop it, please, stop it. Why is everybody upon me? Liddy, you don't believe Sergeant Troy is a bad man, do you?
Well, miss, he's the...
Say you don't believe it, say it!
I don't know what to say, miss, if you keep storming at me.
Love is such misery.
Oh, here's Arcady. Where have you been for the last week?
I've been to the doctor's about my cough. My cough.
That really is a terrible thing. That cough of yours.
Yes, that's why I went to see a doctor. In the town of Bath. And I saw...
You've been to Bath? What did you see?
I saw a mistress and a soldier.
Watch it, boy. You always start coughing so you can't tell us what's necessary.
I saw a mistress and a soldier. And I think the soldier was Sergeant Troy. They went to a park and sat there together for an hour and they looked into each other's eyes. And then I went to the doctor's and I saw them no more.
Katie.
No, you can't start coughing.
What did I do?
Oh, don't worry, Kami. Come sit with me.
So if our mistress and Sergeant Troy were in Bath together, and they sat together and walked together, that can only mean one thing.
She's married to Sergeant Troy now.
But everybody in Weatherbury expected her that she would marry Mr. Baldwood.
Yes.
You all know I'm a very old man. But one thing I have learned is one cannot understand a woman's mind.
So, she, Bathsheba Evelyn, love of my life, is married to Sergeant Troy.
Don't be bitter about it, Gabriel. What difference does it make whose sweetheart she is, since she can't be yours?
That's the very thing I keep saying to myself.
Can you let me have, say, 20 pounds?
Oh, Frank, why do you need such a large sum of money? You told me you would give up betting at horse races.
The money is not for horse racing, I can assure you.
Then what is it for?
You wrong by such a suspicious manner, Bathsheba. Don't go too far, or you may have cause to regret something.
I regret it already.
What do you regret?
That our romance has come to an end.
All romances end at marriage.
Excuse me, miss, but there's an urgent matter you should hear about.
You'll see Fanny Robin no more.
She's dead in Casterbridge.
What did she die from?
General weakness of constitution, I suppose.
Well, she was my uncle's servant. Joseph Poorgrass, go to Casterbridge and bring the coffin here. Say that Mrs. Troy will organize the funeral. Liddy, didn't woman say that Fanny had a sweetheart in Casterbridge?
Yes, He was at the same regiment as Sergeant Troy. I mean, your husband. And I heard that Sergeant Troy, your husband, said they look very much alike, almost...
Liddy, for heaven's sake, stop your talking.
Well, what's wrong in God's name? Is somebody dead? Fanny! No!
So you know this woman?
Do not speak to me, madame. This woman, dead as she is more to me than you ever were or are or can be. I should have married her. In the sight of heaven, she's my very, very wife.
She's dead. Then what am I?
You, madame, you nothing to me. Nothing.
Come, all you fair and tender girls, the flourish in your prime. Beware, beware, keep your garden fair. Let no man steal your time. Let no man steal your time.
Oh, Mrs. Troy. So, are you planning on marrying again someday?
I have not seriously thought of any such subject.
Well, I quite understand that. Yet your husband has been dead for a year now.
You forgot that his death was never absolutely proved, so I am not legally a widow.
Now listen, Batua, if I wait for you for 6 more years when no one can object, then will you marry me?
Mr. Boltwood, I cannot promise now. I promise soon. Christmas will say. Gabriel, you've been such a dear friend to me. I need your advice. I've spoken to Mr. Boltwood and he wants to get married. And I'm afraid that if I don't give him my word, he'll go out of his mind. Do you think it's wrong to make a marriage a sort of an arrangement?
The true sin, Mom, lies in obeying a man that you don't love, honest and true.
A man that you love, honest and true. Honest and true. Gabriel, you speak of yourself. Oh, I have been blind.
Bathsheba, go with your husband.
Somebody write to Casterbridge. Mr. Baldwood has shot my husband.
What? Yes, I'm Mr. Baldwin. What's going on?
Alas, my love, you do me wrong to coax me of this gorgeous and I have loved you for so long, delighting in your company. This was all my joy. This was my delight. This was my heart of gold and blue, but my electric wings sleeps.
Gabriel, you're leaving me? You are leaving me.
Yes.
You must not go, Gabriel. You must not go.
You forbid me?
Yes, if you like. I forbid you.
I must go. Now it's time to start your fight on your battles.
Thank you, Gabriel. You've been such a dear friend to me, and you always helped me and stood by my side when nobody else would. And I was your first sweetheart, and you were mine.
If I only knew that you would let me love you, marry you,
But you'll never know because you don't ask.
would you say no again?
I don't know. Ask me, Gabriel, ask me.
I cried you might be right. You are there for me and hold me up.
zelo dramatična, zelo smo se borili na odru, zelo mantrali, zelo smo švicali, ampak mislim, da je uspelo, mislim, da je to nek začetek naše gledališke poti, ki se bo spenjala strmo navzgor. Hvala.